So with all the anti-Mormon sentiment right now and the horrible incidents in Michigan, I wanted to share some really, really fantastic news, something that Mormons and evangelical Christians are working on together, and it's fantastic. This is going to the Supreme Court right now. This is what it says. Brief of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, National Associations of Evangelicals, Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention, Coalition for Jewish Values, and Jewish Coalition for Religious Liberty, supporting petitioners. So those are the groups involved in what is going to the Supreme Court. They are filing to not allow transgender people to be brought under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment in an effort to save religious freedom. And that's fantastic. Their argument is really good. The Equal Protection Clause, essentially what it argues, and essentially what it does, is that it argues that everyone is equal for everything under the law. And that was part of the 14th Amendment. And that sounds really good, and you think that's a really great thing, until you realize that that could easily infringe on religious rights. So for example, if a church only has male pastors, because that's biblical, before everyone got crazy and there's now these woke Christian churches. But if the church, let's say a Baptist church or even an LDS church, we have bishops in our church, we believe that only men can hold the priesthood, can be bishops. Maybe your church believes only men can be pastors. The 14th Amendment would force churches to allow female pastors, which is, again, against biblical teaching. So you are taking freedom of religion away from us, from churches. Here is what they write. And I think this is just one piece. It's a 24-page document, but I think this sums it up well, and I think their argument's fantastic. They say, we agree, but right to underscore a different concern, elevating transgender status under the 14th Amendment will shatter the framework of rights and protections reflecting this nation's fundamental commitment to religious freedom. Constitutional guarantees of the free exercise of religion and equal protection are both subject to judicial balancing tests. A novel equality right would compel courts to steer between liberty and equality without compass or star at the expense of rights embodied in the written Constitution. And because constitutional rights prevail over statutes, elevating transgender status would weaken the Religious Freedom Restoration Act and create uncertainty for religious organizations in employment, public accommodations, public funding, and parental rights. So they're underscoring right there. If someone, a transgender, say it's a woman, says they're a man, that creates uncertainty for, say, a church who's trying to employ a pastor, because now they could be sued because they say, oh, we don't, they were born as a female. That's not okay with us. Now that female can go and sue them. They finish by saying this: making transgender status a quasi-suspect class will expose religious people and institutions to fines, damages, suits, and the loss of public benefits, all for exercising their religion, which is what I just described. Essentially, they're saying they don't want to be sued for refusing to ordain a transgender male. What if a female transitions to male, says they want to be ordained? I know right now, I can say for my church, the current policy for the LDS church is to treat everyone as the gender that they were born with, their actual biology. That is, for many things. We have ordinances in the church as well that only men receive or only women are a part of. And if you bring transgenderism into it, then we could be sued for not issuing that ordinance or that ceremony to their respective gender, or what they think is their gender. What trans activist groups are trying to do is make it so that is illegal. But this is actually really good news. Again, I've read the 24-page document. The coalition of these Christian and Jewish groups is great. Their argument's fantastically articulated. I'm very confident that the Supreme Court will rule in their favor. And the reason why I point this story out today is because it shows what churches can do when they stick together. There are so many Protestant voices out there trying to fight Mormons right now. And frankly, there are some Mormon voices that are quite critical of Protestant churches. Again, we can disagree on doctrine all day long. No problem with that. But there's no reason to fight each other on an institutional level or on a political level. They're trying to tell Mormons they don't believe in Christ. Their time would be much better spent doing things like this, for example. Actually fighting evil, actually fighting for Christ instead of fighting each other. Stop supporting streaming services that hate your guts and start supporting conservative ones. We the Free is a partner of the show. The show is on We the Free. They're a conservative streaming network, has TV shows, movies, Second Amendment content, and political commentary like mine. Go check it out right now. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, guys. Please like the video so other great patriots like yourselves will see it. And you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.